Well, the first thing we have to do is listen to the fans and make sure that we're not thinking that we're solving problems that don't exist, or we're missing something that's blatantly obvious, and that's one thing that's, again, so great about the Bonnaruvians, is that they'll tell you what they think.
And then when, an act like that comes through, everything changes. He is an absolute visionary. His whole team is, extremely creative, and you want to try to get out of the way when something like that comes your way.
Welcome back to the What Podcast, where we have joked for years and years that there are 2, maybe 3 really great days in the entire year. Could be Christmas for you, could be your birthday, could be the birth of a child. Whatever is your number one. Number 2 is always lineup day in our universe.
And it's earlier than ever.
And guess what?
It's
earlier than
ever.
And it happened today.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you guys, but my head is spinning because Russ and I especially, but I know Brian, even from talking to you, it's been on your mind all day as well. But we've done a lot of work, a lot of talking about Bonnaroo today.
Yeah, you guys especially. And then, I've also do a local thing here I've been working on all day too. So it's been a busy couple of days, but it slows down from here. Me and Russ got our big local Main Times 24 party coming up this weekend. Not ours like we throw it, but that we're a part of. Looking forward to that. And so, yeah, it's been busy, but it's been fun. And
well, let's just be clear
thoughts
about that real quick. When you say you're part of it, that means you ride bitch in his van.
Yeah. I just jump in the van and ride. Yeah.
Well, he brings Jello shots.
I am making a ton of Jello shots.
Yeah, fair enough.
Recovering alcoholic
you contribute
100 Jello shots.
You contribute. I take it back.
Well, I'm not looking forward to that either, by the way. I don't like it, but I love the tradition. So we will have.
And to celebrate, I'm wearing my PBR ugly sweater for today, and I'll be wearing it this weekend as well. So
nice.
So if you're in Chattanooga, look for it. It's always a big time.
It is a cool event. So all right. So didn't mean to get us off track too much.
But should we start with just initial reactions to lineup day here? And this, I mean, we've been going around in different areas about it, but.
Let's do this real quick, just to wrap up what we've done today. So the lineup came out December 2nd, and I'm going to say that depending on what day you're listening to this.
Hopefully December 2nd. And
I hope you're just now listening to it, but if you're not, the lineup dropped at 11 o'clock Eastern time on December 2nd, which is easily a month and a half. Almost 2 months earlier than normal.
And once upon a time.
Mind-blowing how early this is.
Yeah.
I'm not ready.
We did not, we got a little bit of a heads up, but not too much.
Not much.
And then there was no fanfare. It just dropped. And then thanks to our good friends at the festival and C3 and Live Nation, Russ and I, because of work schedules, got to have an hour or so with Cory Smith and Tim Tuba Smith. He is the director of festivals for all of C3, and I hope I have that right. And Cory is
Festivals and Strategic Initiatives is his official title. The director of
that.
Which
he scoffs at the title.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then Cory,
John's work sometimes.
Cory's the marketing manager.
Yeah.
Right. For Bonnaroo and some others in the like a regional type of.
Mm-hmm.
They're the cheeses. They're the guys that make these decisions. And we got to spend an hour with them. Russ and I did. And we talked about everything from Bonnaroo Radio returning to the smaller footprint for the farm to the lineup. And then last night, Tuesday night, December 2nd, the three of us were joined by almost 100 people.
We had a pretty big stream. It's a YouTube exclusive. Go to our YouTube channel and watch it because, we streamed for about an hour. We had David Bruce, I Am Bonnaroo, photographer on, and we had Lena, our ticket winner from last year.
Yeah, then we went to bed. We woke up in the morning, wore the same clothes, and then did the Today Show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's a lot of content, a lot to talk about. So if you're mostly interested in our thoughts and other people's thoughts on the lineup, go find that live thing. If you want to hear from Cory and Tuba, the I guess most regular show would be your option. But I would highly recommend listening to both because it's awesome.
It's the best thing you'll ever hear.
All right, to your point, real quick, Brian, before we get into these shows, initial thoughts?
Yeah, I'll say the same thing I started off the other show with, is that if you ever didn't believe me when I say I don't care who's at Bonnaroo, this is the year to call me out on it, because I'm not immediately wowed. I mean, I've gone over it and over it and over it, and I am excited, and I know it'll grow on me. But 2022 until to this point, till before yesterday, 2022 is my least favorite lineup of all 22 years. At that point, we're at 23 years now. The 23rd coming up. I think my math is right on that. And that was by far my least favorite. This makes me long for 2022. Tool and Billy Strings and Stevie Nicks, things I kind of rolled my eyes at the time. So it's year to year. It's a cyclical kind of thing in a way. It doesn't mean I'm not excited. It's just it's going to take some getting used to and some discovery, and we're going to work on that. I'm going to work on that over the course of the next few months. I'm happy that we have it, and I'm happy we have something to talk about.
Russ?
Kind of the same boat. I mean, there's definitely things on every day that I want to see. So, it's not the worst lineup, but there are some things that stick out. Skrillex on Thursday, I'm interested in that, and I'm not really an EDM guy, but I feel like when you get somebody like that, you got to see him. I am glad to see Wet Leg is on there. Weird Al is probably my number one on this, and I just saw Weird Al at Shaky Knees, so I already know that's going to be a good show. We also pointed out, Rainbow Kitten Surprise. There's a lot of stuff that's coming back that I'm happy to see. And as you alluded to when we talked to Tuba and Cory and asked them about that, there's a very specific reason for exactly which acts came back, which we'll get into. But I mean, Noah Khan and Rufus Du Sol, I think it's pretty neat that we have interviewed two of the headliners in the past, before they were headliners. And I think we can definitely go back and revisit those episodes a little bit. And then Kesha, I think Kesha's one that in all the talk online about and all the mocks.
Talk about that today.
Nobody mentioned Kesha. So that's one that just kind of surprised everyone, I think. Same with Blues Traveler. I mean, they're not very high up there, but I think that's one that's is going to be great too.
I agree with all that. I think you hit on all the ones I'm looking at: Blues Traveler, Flip Turn, Turnstile.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those. Tedeschi Trucks is always a great show. I think Derek Trucks is top 4 or 5 guitar players in the world. I could listen to him play all day long. And he's such a nice guy, and so is his wife, Susan. So there's that. I'm also curious because we like the sausage making to see how Bonnaroo handles this. They always do such a good job of listening to people. One of the things you'll hear in our interview with Tuba and Cory is how many responses they got. It's stunning. Yeah. Stunning how many responses they got to their survey. So, we laugh about, and Brian, you and I are a total agreement on surveys. The idea of somebody saying, I never go, it sucks, that to me is, why did you bother to?
Well, and that, sometimes that's a fault of the survey question too. And their first survey was, I believe, completely worthless. Their second one was much better.
Yeah, and they actually listen.
Yeah. Are you? But are you going? I'm just making something up. But are you going to Bonnaroo? Yes or no? Well, I mean, what kind of help is that? I mean, yes.
Right,
No.
right,
Like. So surveys do serve a purpose, and this one, especially the second one they rolled out, it appears, and I mean, I'm watching the rest of the episode with the rest of you guys. I was at work. I wasn't able to be involved, which I hated because I love Cory and Tuba, especially Tuba because we only talked to him one other time, and other than seeing him at the festival, I don't get a chance to chit chat with him, and he's a fun guy to talk to. So, and then
I'm sure we'll have him back on.
The biggest, and not just fun, but I mean, these are the guys that making the decisions.
Yeah,
this isn't like give us your opinion on what you think is happening. This is like, why did this happen? Because I made the decision to do.
I don't know how much online chatter, because I haven't been able to be in the, I don't get too lost in comment sections. I actually truly mean that. I'm not in them very often.
Right.
But the moving of that tent is one of the most bewildering ideas that I have heard. And Bonner's done a lot of almost drastic might be the word to use, radical even things to make adjustments over the years. And usually they always work out. And I look at that, I'm like, the hell are you doing in my festival? That's my land. That's my land. It's like the White House. That's our house. That's my land over there. What are you doing? So I'll be interested to see more conversation about that and how that unfolds. And you guys talk about that a little bit too.
Yeah,
it is a little interesting.
You'll get that. It's not what you might expect. I didn't expect it. But it made sense. And, we even say in the show, if it sucks, they'll put it back.
And then the return of Radio Bonnaroo, we haven't had a lot of time to talk about. But
is it Radio Bonnaroo or Bonnaroo Radio?
You know what? You said that in the last show, and I forgot to follow up on that. I don't know. And the reason I don't know, you got me questioning it now, is because sometimes, especially in specialized industries, sometimes jargon and lingo turns into what it turns into. Sure. I know that while we were on the air, whoever we is, which I spent 3 years, and it got incrementally more each year after the trust was built. And by the third year, they wanted me in there like 5 hours a day. I was like, guys, I want to go to the festival.
Get Stone. He'll do it.
He'll sit here all day.
He'll do that 3 a.m. shift.
And
he's got nothing else to do.
When it was on the air, it was almost, I mean, I never asked, but it was, you're listening to 101.5 Radio Bonnaroo. Never, ever did we say Bonnaroo Radio. And the signage said Radio Bonnaroo.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't know when they'd established this really, really cool idea for this festival 20 years ago that they said, here's exactly what it's called. But us on the air, the 3 years I was around, it was, I don't know. We got a road around here called Highway 58, but it's 58 Highway.
Oh, yeah. No, you're 100%.
Over on 58 Highway. You mean Highway 58? No, 58 Highway.
We'll get some clarity on this one. There's another mystery.
Say Radio Bonnaroo. I'm not going to change.
I want to say what you say, because I know it's near and dear to you.
I trust you.
So,
well, I mean, again, we might have been arrogant egomaniacs deciding how this is going to go. I can't remember. It was 10 years ago.
I'm with you. I'm Team Brian on this.
Very excited it's back. And I'm very excited that this festival continues to do what they've always done. Listen to their constituents, their patrons or customers. They do it. And thank you for doing that, Bonnaroo.
Yeah, very true.
All right. Also, we've got tickets to give away. Thanks to, I don't know if I should say names, but we've been able to give away tickets every year since we've been doing this podcast. And we have 2 more GA tickets and a parking pass. One of the guests on the live show was our last year winner. We've had the good fortune of meeting most of them in the last year or 2 on the farm, which has been kind of a thrill. Super excited to be able to give 2 away. There's a couple of options. You can go to thewhat.co/win or call 423-667-7877 and basically tell us why you should win. That's a simple question, but please be creative. Surprise us.
Have fun with it, and we'll ask for recommendations later on down the road and different things. But overall, have fun with it. We'll see.
Enter as many times as you want. One of the things we loved about Lena last year was she sent us so many different entrances, different ways. They were funny, they were heartfelt, they were thoughtful, and she just stood out. So, love for somebody to win. It means a lot. I wish we had more to give away. That's the hardest part. Today it sounds like a great idea. In whatever 2-3 months when we have to pick a winner, it's
like, damn it, what do we do? How do we do this?
Why did we do this?
And we've already got a lot of entries already.
Yeah, we do. And to that point, we don't know when exactly we will draw. We will not drag it out too long. We know you guys need to plan, and we know you want to win. So,
but we're so early on this damn drop, it's going to be a little bit.
It's going to be a minute.
So you got plenty of time to get in.
Plenty of time. Yeah.
If you've already entered, we'll probably play some of these. That's the other thing. It gives us some good content because we love hearing these answers.
That's the thing. Yeah, you can call and give us a voicemail. You can email us, and if you do, we'd love to get some pictures or video or something. You could submit a video. You can record yourself and send it. Not gonna lie, it's all stuff that we plan on using on the show. So you'll see entries throughout the next season for sure.
Yep, exactly. All right, guys, what else?
I think that gets us up to date. I'm looking forward to finding out what Tuba and Cory have to say. I don't know about you.
Let's
Can't wait to have them back on, and we will. They promised they'll come back on later before June when we can ask them about more details on some of the changes. So if they don't answer your question in this episode, we promise we will get to it. Either directly by asking them or having them back on. So, I don't know what else to say other than, guys, 2026, it's here.
Before you know it.
What the heck, Russ? Is this season 8 or 9 for us?
This is season 9 for us.
Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Real quick, why this is the earliest. You guys have released it at all hours of the day, typically January, February. We've been fortunate enough to get it early in some instances. This one was kind of a surprise, kind of came out of nowhere. What was the thinking behind releasing it now and the way you did it?
Yeah, the main thing is I really didn't want to try to ask anybody for any of their money in exchange for a Bonnaroo that was, going to have some substantial changes before they saw exactly what that was going to look like. So, kind of you're looking at the decision-making time frame that it takes for someone to, get their shit together to be able to plan going to Bonnaroo and getting their friends together and getting their camping stuff together and all that kind of stuff. Like if we waited till the, normal kind of January time frame, and didn't do a blind pre-sale, I just felt like we wouldn't be giving folks enough time. So I kind of got the team together and I was like, what if we drop this thing early this year? And everyone was like, let's make it happen. So here we are. I have no idea if this is how we'll do it in the future. It was pretty fun. It worked out so far, which is good because if it didn't, I think I probably would have gotten fired. So,
well, the guy that can answer that is with us as well. Tuba, let's go back a little bit, and I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about last summer, but I do want to know, because I think we asked you before, Cory, at what point did you know we were going forward? At what point did it feel like Bonnaroo 26 was going to happen and that it was going to happen in June? And now we need to, put not all of it, but put as much behind us as we can and focus on the future. When did that start happening?
It was really, when we were firing off all those surveys that we did. And I think, it's something that we talked about a lot. And it's like, okay, well, if we got some rest and recovered a little bit, and, how do we, what do we do here? How do we move forward? And we all were in agreement that, well, the first thing we have to do is listen to the fans and make sure that we're not thinking that we're solving problems that don't exist or we're missing something that's blatantly obvious, and that's one thing that's, again, so great about the Bonnaruvians is that they'll tell you what they think, good, bad, or indifferent, and so, and that's, I think once we got that, the survey results back, there were some surprises in there, but for the most part, keep it in June. That's where we want to be. That was really what we took away from it. So I think, pretty quickly after that was when we were like, okay, this will, let's let it rip and not take a beat.
I'm glad you said it that way, and I'll kind of lay a little blame on myself or admit to not being very smart sometimes, as I've said. Um, I at one point on the show said, one thing we need to stop doing is listening to all the people on social media. I meant really the naysayers, who don't, who are just throwing things out there because they heard from a friend who heard from a friend who heard, that kind of. But what you said, the Bonnaroo people are a smart people. They love this festival as much as Russ and I do, and as much as you both do. So they have some good ideas, don't they? They know what works. They know what doesn't work. Or at least what they, works for them. So how important was that with the surveys and gathering information? I guess what I'm saying is, how much confidence did you guys have that we're getting good information?
Well, the sample size was massive. 2 of the surveys we had to turn off because I think Google Forms caps you at like 50,000. And we were about to hit that. So
Wow.
that's crazy if you think of how many people come to Bonnaroo. So when you get that many people weighing in, especially, knowing that we're kind of releasing it via, email, SMS, socials, kind of to like the core, like we're not putting any money behind it. We're not trying to get it out there. So you kind of know that you're hearing, and some of the questions were, indicative of you're hearing from your core fans. When you get a sample size that big, the confidence level gets pretty high, which allows us to, make some hard decisions, feeling like we're doing what is being asked of us,
Tubi, how different, and I've asked you this before, how different is the Bonnaroo crowd in that regard? I mean, could you do surveys at other festivals, I'm sure. I'll ask you the same question. How important was having the confidence in the people answering these surveys?
I mean, it's crucial, but I think that's, again, like, that's where we just kind of went back to our roots there. It's like, everybody was shell shocked, and so it's like, let's really just, let's get a baseline here. And I think the fact that many people responded, period, was a massive indicator. If we got like no response, or people were just like, I'm done with you, like that's a different thing than like, no, I am going to tell you what I think and what I feel, and give you my feedback on what this is. And, and it's not, I don't remember clearly, but I mean, there weren't a lot of open forum type of questions on there, and so, it's always easy to go into Instagram and troll in the comments, but if you're going to take the time to open up a survey and do that and submit it, then you care, and you're probably somebody that's actually been to the event. I think you mentioned that about online. I think there's, I don't know, there's a sizable portion of people on the socials that I don't think they've even ever gone. They're just out trolling.
Yeah. Those are my favorite answers. It's terrible. I've never been. I love that answer. Check, and thanks for your time.
Exactly.
We ask here, and we talk about it all the time, the lineup. How is it a lineup driven thing? How important is the lineup for you guys this year? And we know from talking to Benson and Steven that they work on this year round. So where did that graph line meet, I guess? Did you feel like you had a good lineup in the works? Did you feel like it had to be a super home run? Where did they intersect?
I mean, I think the lineup process is basically the same every year. You start at the top of your list, and you work your way through that. And then if your, target that you just went for isn't available, then you think, oh, who else would be really cool here? And that's kind of the process. And I think it was no different this year. I think being able to land someone like a Skrillex that's been really high on all of our fans, lists, is a huge stone to get rolling downhill. I think a Rufus de Sol that's been, asked for a lot is huge. So I think, nailing some of those like super core acts, really kind of helps get the rest of it moving. If that answers your question.
Yeah. And I know Russ wants to ask about the day changes because I mean, he's a show up Tuesday kind of guy, and so that's a big change. But before we do, because I know a lot of people when it ended and when we were talking about lineups wondered how many acts from last year can you bring back, and I was glad to see like a Flip Turn and some of those. How big a
I'm
part
glad
of the
to see a lot of
conversation?
these, that carried over from last year. I'm very happy with that.
Dude, one thing that was actually really cool about that is we were able to pull data from the app to see which acts were the most scheduled on custom schedules. And there's like tens of thousands of people that did those. So that was
Wow.
that wasn't the only tool that we used, obviously, but it was really useful for us to kind of look at
That's a
that
pretty good
list and be
one.
like,
Yeah.
it was interesting.
That's very cool. Go ahead, Russ. I set you up because I want to ask about it too, but I know it's on your mind the thoughts about the changes and well, we'll get into changes, but let's start with the changes in the actual days, the time frame.
Yeah, well, I want to start. You mentioned Skrillex, and I think that was kind of a big bomb that dropped. That because you had kind of set the expectation that Thursday was going to be more of a low key. You mentioned a welcome party. There'll be like maybe one act. Don't expect anyone big, and then then you turn around with Skrillex. So how did that come about? And what can we expect? Because it's not going to
Yeah.
be. It's still going to be a lesser day than a normal Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Or
Sorry to
is
keep
it?
stealing these two, but I feel
It's
I
all
feel
good.
like
It's all good.
I feel like I was pretty vocal early on about folks not getting their expectations for that Thursday too high. Like we really didn't want to oversell it. Obviously that Skrillex conversation is going on. But just knowing, it's been what, 12, 13 years since he's played the show. So
Yeah.
when you get that much time, there's been a few years that conversation has happened and, you haven't been able to land it. So they kind of become that white whale. So you don't exactly bank on it happening. So, just try not to get people too excited about that and try to plan a welcome party that is very Bonnaroo and very fun, and super like culture driven. And then when, an act like that comes through, everything changes.
Yeah.
He is an absolute visionary and, a creative. His whole team is, extremely creative, and you want to try to get out of the way when something like that comes your way. So,
Mhm.
obviously that Thursday grew in scope a lot based on what we were originally expecting. But yeah, I think it's going to be insane out there. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, this seems more like, and I guess maybe if it was a normal year, Skrillex would ideally be maybe like your big Sunday headliner, but I'm guessing at this stage, maybe Sunday was already set. So like Thursday was really the only day that worked for him. Is that true? Or was this you wanted to open with
No, we
Skrillex
tried to
on
get him
purpose?
for the Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we thought that would be awesome. And it
It feels
happened.
like a good welcome back to me.
Exactly.
I can just picture everybody, checking in, getting ready, hugging neighbors, saying hi, checking out the changes in Bonnaroo and everything, and then right in your face.
Yeah, he's
Is
not going to
Skrillex.
hold back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skrillex isn't going to go lightweight on it. That's for sure.
And we will get to those changes in Centeroo here soon too, because I know there's a few.
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned, since we're sticking here, you mentioned it being like an opening ceremony type of thing. Are you still thinking that, or are you basically turning it over to his people and seeing where he wants to take the train, I guess?
Yeah, I think we're wanting to let him drive and just work to kind of execute their team's vision on this thing.
Nice.
Well, we'll certainly, I mean, we always do this, but we'll ideate with them as well to see, are there things that we can do to accentuate that and make it more, but again, they are in the driver's seat on that. And that's going to be the best thing for everybody.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and jump into changes. Talk about Wednesday entry, and that's for campers, right? Wednesday entry. So no Tuesday.
No Tuesday.
Move-in day Thursday to get ready for Thursday night. What is the thinking? And I guess, and also it's a smaller footprint, correct? Which came first, or were they sort of parallel?
Great question. Yes. Yes to all. I think the jump right into the Tuesday thing. So, one of the biggest learnings we had from 2025 was just, we knew some areas that get a little swampy, but having it be the wettest spring in Tennessee in 85 years, certainly showed us a few new areas that were problematic, obviously. And so, yeah, we could do a bunch of work to try to increase those specific areas with better drainage. And then, that would probably trigger some sort of broader review, environmental review, because you're not supposed to just expedite water off your property, because that means it's going to someone else's property.
That's what
Thank you. That's what I've been saying. Everyone says, just put in drainage. Well, drain it where? Yeah, exactly. It's got to go somewhere.
I mean, sometimes, a lot of times, frankly, the solution is, well, just don't put people there. And so, but you guys know, it's like we use up all the space out there, and so the only way to do that is to get to lower the capacity of the event and just remove those sites from circulation. That number ended up being pretty much what we had as a batting average for the Tuesday entry as far as camping goes. The other one too is, remember, Tuesday usually started at noon. It wasn't even a full ingress day, just because of the volume. So, while it's technically, one less day, it's really kind of a half day. And, volume wise, it should be pretty close to the same, on the day to day. So, that's really where the logic came in there. And I will say, like, it's, talking about how the sausage is made, like it's not inexpensive to turn the lights on the farm and get the staff and get the vendors and get everybody spooled up and ready to have folks on the farm. And so that day will help us on some cost recovery on that front too. So
it's got to save on insurance too, right? The less time you have it open to the public, the less insurance coverage you're going to need.
Not necessarily. The insurance piece is complex, but it's more based off of some of the financial numbers rather than number of days. But I've certainly been pleading my case on a couple different fronts as far as proration of insurance policies and things like that. So that's, if we want to do a really boring podcast, I can talk about insurance. But
I think I'll stay off of that one.
yeah, take a nap. Or if you're having
trouble, Brian's not here. We'll save the boring stuff for him.
Yeah, there you go. Let Stone handle that.
But that was a rant. What was the back half of that question? There was another part of that, wasn't it?
I think it was it which came first, type of thing? Did it and get the number of people and the number of days and the footprint, the size of the footprint?
Yep.
How much? And I know you guys don't like talking actual numbers. But so I'll ask it this way. How did you determine what the size of the footprint would be and the ticket sales? How did that come about? I mean, I know you guys are great with data, and I'm guessing this was not a random, number, but
Well, I
how did you
think
determine it?
Well, the irony is, while the capacity is lower, the site's not any smaller, because the low-lying areas aren't necessarily. I mean, a lot of them are at the perimeter, but they're not all at the perimeter. And so, um, if we're full up again with the new capacity, like, we'll probably still be in the same areas. You're just going to see some low-lying areas that are going to be just roped off and just wide open. Which again, if it's not, God willing, it's not the same as it was last year, then that's more space to frisbee and hang out and party and do whatever. So I think it's a good thing on that front as far as the guest experience goes. So
Yeah. For people who have only been there a couple of times and maybe not been there, you guys do a good job of figuring that out and making it feel like it's full no matter what. Like, was it 16, which was a low number? Estimates in the 40s, a number of people. It was one of my favorites. It felt great. It didn't feel small. It didn't feel lacking in any way. You move some stuff around to make sure that every space is animated. So I'm not sure that I have a question there other than a general comment because there's nothing worse than being in a room, that is, has a lot of people, but it feels empty. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I think there's, again, we'll put this on the boring podcast, but there's a ton of math that goes. We talked about this last time you guys had me on. There's math around everything, and so, but you're absolutely right. We want to make that venue feel, we need it to have the Bonnaroo vibe, and that's not just having this huge expansive space with half the people in it. Like, we want it to be comfortably full and activated, so. You're absolutely right on that front.
Every year, and some people will be like, "How the hell did I end up all the way back here?" It's like we're never going to load Plaza 11 before we load Plaza 3. So it's going to kind of fill in from the front back, no matter what happens.
I mean, that's one that I don't know. That's a stake I put in the ground early when I kind of came in the picture, because when I noticed that, I'm like, the first person in line goes to the back 60. No, we're not doing that. It's just a no. Well, the traffic plan, I'm like, figure it out. That's not an option. If you're first in line, you park at the arch. I don't care.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Based on the surveys, other than having it in June and bands that you wanted, what were some of the other things that people said they wanted that resulted in changes that we're going to see?
People said that they wanted to have a Bonnaroo this year. That was a big one.
That's
biggest one.
A big one, yeah.
Or I guess in 26 they said that.
Yeah.
We got the sense that the mix of programming is pretty much where people want it to be. If anything, they'd like to see some more guitars out there. So I think, you see some more guitars this year, which I'm always happy about. Trying to think of the other stuff.
Water stations, bathrooms, where people are camping, the plazas, that sort of.
I mean, I think it's kind of jumping around a little bit, but I think one of the big ones that we learned from last year's experience is just in that scenario how we communicate and talk with the fans. Like, we seriously did the best that we could in the heat of the moment, but hindsight's always 20/20, and so Cory can speak to the specifics of this, but we're really excited to bring Bonnaroo Radio back and really just make that site wide. We and you guys know we've got the PAs in the campgrounds, and obviously there's way better cell coverage than there's ever been out there, just from the Verizon and AT&T towers. So there's a lot of different ways for us to communicate there. But again, we're excited to have Bonnaroo Radio back. Cory, you want to?
Yeah. I think what we were hearing.
I'm sorry. Let me jump real quick. I'm sorry Brian Stone's not here, because he would take full credit for this being.
No, we definitely heard a lot in relation to Bonnaroo Radio. I think obviously, that's kind of a no-brainer. Some of the feedback that we're getting was Yeah, we got a text from you guys an hour and a half after my neighbor got it. And I got a push notification today, and you guys sent it yesterday. So just some of those connectivity issues, especially when everyone kind of, instead of being dispersed across the whole property, ended up being just in the campgrounds. Those issues kind of stacked up. So yeah, I mean, we're Bonnaroo Radio in the past has been a number of things. It's had a really big scope at times. I think the part that we are trying to replicate this year is simply the fan communication aspect. We've got a good buddy of ours, Ben Smith, who we used to work with at AC Entertainment.
Oh yeah, I know Ben.
Yeah, he's going to be running that show. So we're doing Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday, fully programmed. Specialty programs, guest hosts, throwback sets, interviews, everything. And then once everybody gets in and gets, kind of settled and the music starts, we will keep a very Bonnaroo centric playlist going. So if you're at your campsite and want to tune in, you're welcome to. But then sort of all weekend we'll have the ability to cut in as needed. So if you're in Centeroo and the screens say go to your car, you can go to your car and turn that on. You're going to be able to get regular updates from our team. So we're really excited about that. I think that was an easy one to deliver. And we're happy that worked out.
It's a local radio station that you're doing this with. Is it the Rooster?
Yeah, it's the Rooster.
Okay.
The appropriately named Rooster.
Yeah, perfect name too. Is it going to be broadcast from the farm or somewhere offsite?
We're working out the exact details. The bulk of the programming when we're fully taking over on Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday night, and Monday is going to be from their studio in Tullahoma.
Yeah.
Live or recorded stuff? I'm sorry to interrupt.
A lot of it will be live.
Nice.
We might have some pre-recorded elements, maybe for some of the interviews and stuff that are harder to do live. But yeah, most of it's going to be live. So, we're trying to work out if we can have people call in and stuff like that. So, there's a lot of cool stuff we can do there.
Well, I know a guy will give you an hour or two free.
Yeah.
Brian Stone. He'd love it.
We'll go ahead and volunteer Brian for that because I know he'd love to be
we'll
a part
have to
of
get
it.
him on there.
He would love it. That's cool. I know a lot of people. It was awesome, man. I loved coming over that. It was one of my favorite. Coming over that mountain, turning on Bonnaroo Radio, and my whole world changed. I was there for the next 4 or 5 days. So very cool.
Yeah, and I mean, I think to your question too, like all of the improvements, the grass, the roads, the drainage, everything that we've kind of mentioned that we're working on out there, came from hearing from fans. And a lot of it is, our fans are asking us to do something, right? And we're trusting the professionals and then our grounds team out there to tell us what the best way to spend that money is that's going to have the biggest impact. Or at least I am. Tuba actually knows how some of that stuff works. But yeah, I think just hearing from people that this is what we need you guys to do for us to feel comfortable coming back out. We want to come, but we need you. We need to see it from Bonnaroo. So just for us to be able to do that and get some investment to go out there and work on the farm has just been really exciting for our team.
It's kind of a weird question after 22 years, but we're 6 months away. How close to done are you with the plans? I mean, like Thursday, you're saying you're still coming up with ideas. How 2 parts. How close are you to done? And right now, what's the one thing you're most excited for people to see? A new thing or a different thing?
Programming wise?
Anything. anything. Grass is an answer. Flushable toilets is an answer. It's so crazy with this event, but the things are life changing.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I just want to have the whole thing happen. You know, I going home was not fun
Good
last
answer.
year.
Yeah.
We were set up. You know, we were coming off an excellent year in 23, where we felt like things had clicked better than they ever had before, and we made some tweaks to put some polish on it, and 24 was going to be absolutely insane. So we're ready. And we need it. Like, we need to have a full Bonnaroo. So that's what I'm excited about. I don't know, Tuba, do you have anything?
I was just going to jump in when I think when we talk about what state of where we at in a percentage graph on doneness, this is the earliest we've ever released a lineup. And there's a lot, there's a lot of booking still left to do, both in Centeroo and Outeroo. So we're really excited about some of the stuff that we've got cooking there. But we also don't want to start talking about it until we've actually got it dialed in and know that it can happen. Last thing we ever want to do is get everybody whipped up about something and then we pull it down. So we're really excited about that. As far as the work has been moving along pretty well. As far as the infrastructure upgrades and things like that, I think you guys saw that on some of the media we put up on Instagram and everything.
Yeah, we love the little videos like that, especially with Justin and Dale. That was
Justin and
Dale.
Those guys are amazing, and they've been around since day one. That's my Dale Green hat. So get your Dale Green merch. It's going fast. No, I mean, it's, those guys are really incredible at what they do. And the weather has cooperated in the fall here for them to get a lot of this work done. It is really, it's really hard to build a road on the middle of a farm when it's soaking wet. But when it's dry, they can boogie pretty well. So, so I think, but with that too, like we've got a project list. It's in order of most important to least important, and so they're trucking through that as much as they can. But at the same token, we don't want to start tearing stuff up a month before the show because it's not going to be recovered and ready to be occupied by whoever. We want to make sure that we're not hurting ourselves by having some stuff that's not in a completed state. So,
all right, I got another boring sausage making. Because you didn't want to do like a pre-sale and the typical sorts of things, like how far along are you on being able to predict how many people are coming back, how many new people? You have all that data where you probably could predict we can expect so many returns, we can expect so many new people. Are you way out of whack on that because of doing this releasing it the way you're doing it, or were
We
you
have no
able
idea
Yeah.
right now. We'll know more later this week. But yeah, right now come on.
Right. Yeah.
So we're recording this Tuesday, a few hours after you release the lineup. We'll have it out either tonight or tomorrow. So for people listening, let's say it's Wednesday. That means pre-sale tickets pre-sale for previous ticket buyers, right? Went on sale this morning, we'll say. Right.
Goes on sale tomorrow morning.
Yeah, the 3rd.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the future now. Got it.
Yeah, we're recording. So went on sale December 3rd. So you will know a little bit, but that's got to be a little bit of a pucker factor for you guys, not knowing along those lines.
It always is, look, this is this is the pinnacle moment, and it's like, okay, do you like what we've done? We really hope, it's really, a lot of work goes into it, but at a certain point you gotta, you gotta put it out there and let it run. So
what did you get from last year? Because for us, it was a great event up until the rain, on Friday. Like you said, Cory, it felt great. Felt like 23 going into 24 was or 25 was going to be, amazing. What were the changes from last year that you're keeping, the things that worked, or was it too early to tell because it ended so quickly?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know if you have anything specific there. I've been kind of just telling people, like, rinse and repeat the plan as far as, business as usual festival wise, and then kind of react to, some of the weather related stuff that we can improve.
Okay. Came out yesterday or today? You're moving what? They always get them wrong.
That tent.
That tent is moving over by the what stage?
What precipitated that change?
Yeah.
There's a couple different factors on that one that we took into account. The biggest one is Benson and Steve do a great job of, in my opinion, overbooking those tents. They put amazing artists in those tents, and it's like, okay, well, now the tents are loaded. And unlike this tent, that tent has actually become a little bit more limited year over year because these beautiful trees that we planted have grown. So if you're on the west side of 4th Avenue, you can't see the stage. You can't see it's hard to see the screen. We actually moved the screen to the west side of those trees to try to be able to get some better viewing there. There's some safety factors that we need to look at because instead of a bunch of van with a trailer type artists, we've now got buses and semis. And the only way to access the backside of that stage is from the roadway that is the primary pedestrian path up to the arch. And so we've got, big, heavy traffic mixing with patron traffic. We never, ever, ever want to do that if we can help it. So, and then last but not least is, the other stage is not getting any quieter. So, if anybody picks up an acoustic guitar and somebody's really getting after it at the other stage, they're just going to get swallowed up over there. Again, if we move that over to the, kind of center field at the what field, I think that's going to make that stage more accessible. It's going to service more fans there. It's going to activate the what field more than just that single stage, which should help us with a little bit of patron traffic back and forth. There was a lot of discussion that went into that, but and I'll put the asterisk by it, like, look, if it doesn't work, we'll move it back, but we want to continue to, we want to continue to try to evolve and move things forward. And, Cory and I'll be the first ones to tell you, sometimes we miss, but we got to try, so.
How will it impact programming on the what? I mean, they're going to be sort of facing each other, right? Or,
yeah.
It's just an A/B. They'll just go back and forth.
Okay.
And that's kind of, if you look at the grids, that's a little bit how it's kind of set up already,
Nice.
What about the Who stage? Is it staying in Outer Room or is it coming back to Center Room?
Yeah, I think the Who stage is still something that we're trying to figure out. So no official updates there, one way or the other. But definitely try to get some more information on that and some of the other stuff that's still hanging out there soon.
And then the Where stage is in Center Room now. That was formerly in Where in the Woods, right?
That's right.
What does that do? What does that do for Where in the Woods? Are you still going to have any programming out there, or is that just going to be just a chill hangout spot now?
Yeah, that's the ultimate hang zone now. Shade all day, put your hammock up, chill out. That real estate's precious on the farm. And obviously that place looks, absolutely incredible at night when it's lit up and, there's a party in there, but it is not the most conducive to having a safe show because of just how people filter in there and how we have to run that operation. So, putting that cool stage that we already own over in sort of an empty, underutilized field kind of opens us up to be able to do more. And I'll be the first to say, like, we don't have any acts booked on that stage yet. I don't want people to get their hopes up. But it is sort of like a blank canvas and a place that we are able to offer up to acts that are, wanting to jump up and go late, do a little something special for the fans. And we haven't really had that place in the past few years where we could execute that safely. So, and
you'll have some.
if there aren't any cool like pop-ups or anything, which is, certainly possible, it'll, kind of function as that corner has in the past when Clappy was over there, and, just be a place to dance the rest of the night away. And we heard from fans that people love that experience. So
yeah, a lot of people asking about late night this year. So that sounds like that might be the place for it.
It's gonna be fun.
Art installations, more or less, more of a focus, less of a focus, about the same. That's something that I'm hearing from a lot of people,
Hopefully more,
especially regarding other festivals, things they love seeing. It is the music at Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival. So
yeah, we're December 2nd right now, so I'd say too early to share, but there's at least a couple conversations that I know of right now that would push us into the more category.
Cool.
Well, good.
Pricing. And go back. I know our buddy Brad Parker. We kind of teased last week that he threw you under a bus and said one thing for sure: the lower tier will not be going up. If anything, it goes down. Was that his gift to you on the way out, or is that the way things are going to be?
No, I mean we've got pricing up right now. We're offering the True presale price from last year to the 2025 buyers presale this year. And we're gonna keep selling those until Friday. So we're making sure that if people want to get their ticket at that tier 1 price, they can do it. And I think one of our priorities on Rue is to keep the price down. We know what it costs to get there. We know that you also have to buy, whether it's just a campsite or it's, a pre-pitched tent or whatever, like that's an incremental cost, food, etc. And we know that it's a little more remote than, like a Lollapalooza or an ACL. And we want to make sure that, people are getting value. And that sort of like, I like to look at like a price per band. I want that number to always feel just crazy low. So it's a big priority on that show, and I think if you look across kind of the festival landscape right now, and if you're pricing out against other camping festivals, I think you'll find that we're always going to be at the bottom price wise, and we're going to keep doing that. So yeah.
Okay. All right. I probably just a couple more. Russ, what are we missing? What are some of the other things we're hearing from?
You mentioned Brad Parker, and I was going to ask, how is that handoff going? Brad leaving, and then Shelby, is that correct, is coming in? How is that transition working out?
Well, Cory gave him a boot, in the back on the way out the door. He's not here to defend himself, so this could be the
let's go.
It's the holidays. This is the airing of the grievances towards Brad.
It's Festivus.
No, I say that in jest. We love Brad. Brad's been a huge part of this show, obviously, for a long time, and his heart and soul really showed through. But what I can also say though is, you're not losing a step with Shelby. She's always been in the mix in a ton of ways over the last decade, but she's really been. We joke behind the scenes that while Brad may be the face that's out talking about the event, Shelby's the one that actually does the work. So I would say there really isn't a transition. We've just kind of, let her run. And she's incredible on that front. We're really excited to have her in that role to move forward. So,
well, it'd be hard pressed to find somebody who was more active and out in front on socials than Brad, and especially along with you, Cory. So I don't know if I assume that'll slow down some, but fact that you guys are both on here with us today, I can't thank you enough. And I'm hoping you'll come back on before the event so we can ask those specific questions again. Ask again, what are you most looking forward to, and what are the big changes and that sort of stuff. I understand this is December 2nd as we're talking, so Some of it hasn't been invented yet, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. What else, Russ? Anything?
I'm not seeing anything. I think we got most of the questions that were kind of thrown out there. Thursday, Skrillex, Fortet, Vince, and Spiritual Cramp. Is that all going to be on the what stage, I assume?
Right.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. That's a good question.
Yeah.
All right. What is a surprise? Who? I'll ask you both. Who's the act I need to be checking out?
Boot Scoot and Boogie Nights.
I've got all their records already.
They got a killer guitar player.
Hey, by the way, we missed you, Cory, in Chattanooga when they played. I heard you had some FOMO from not being at that show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that one, and it didn't work out. But, oh well. Yeah, I don't know. I'd say I'm pretty psyched on Mountain Grass Unit, OCs. Mm-hmm. I actually still haven't gotten to see Flip Turn. So I want to make sure to see that one. Turnstile.
I like that a lot.
Geese.
Yeah, I was glad you got Turnstile, Turnover, and then Flip Turn. So you got the trio of turns here.
Yeah, exactly. Fortet Redemption Show. It's going to be nice. Mm-hmm. Wednesday, I'm super excited about. I mean, let's do honorable mention Blues Traveler.
Yeah, Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Tedeschi Trucks. I mean, just
always great to see them.
Oh, dude, God,
nicest people.
I'm excited for
people.
I'm excited for the chats.
Yeah. Chats are awesome.
Of course, Weird Al, who Russ got to see.
Keep forgetting about Weird Al.
Yeah, Weird Al.
I'm super excited about Weird Al.
Late night romper out there.
Oh, that's gonna be wild.
All right.
So on the poster, it does say Saturday Late Night Review. What is that going to be like?
I don't know. it's gonna be late night and it's gonna be cool.
Okay.
You'll have to ask Mr. Al about that one.
I don't know. That's funny. All right, guys.
Mr. Al.
Mr. Al. Yeah.
I'm a little slow. That was a good one.
First name weird, last name I don't know. Yeah. It was just a funny joke.
Legal name, it's on his driver's license.
Tuba, I'll ask you first. Anything we didn't ask you that you want to make sure we mentioned?
No, I'll just say it again. Get your Dale Green merch.
Man, he's shilling hard for this.
Website.
Not yet. I'm trying to get our marketing guy to get it up there so we can move some product for Dale.
He doesn't strike me as a guy who would have his own website.
No.
He gives me a little commish, I'd probably do it.
Yeah.
Here we go. No, I think that's just Dale and Bill Check. Those two guys are incredible and just and they've been there since day one. So just couldn't be happier. I just encourage anybody that's listening to this podcast or watching it, find those guys on site. They're out there. They're working. Go up and tell them thanks and that you love them and happy Roo and they'll love it. So. Love it.
All right, Cory. Same question.
Yeah. I think what Tuba said for those guys, obviously, and to all of our volunteers, that were with us last year and are coming back this year. And then I think I just want to say, keep talking to us. If you got something you want us to hear, I would try to pop up in the Festiverse Discord at least twice a week. And we read every single comment. So we are listening. We want to know what people think. We're going to keep rolling out updates for the next couple of months as, those projects, get a little further along on the farm. Just so people can see what's going on out there. And then obviously all of our normal, late night announcements, schedule, secondary programming, etc. So stay tuned. And I mean, I can't wait to get back out there with everybody and just blow off some steam, man. It's going to be good. It's going to feel so good.
Best show we ever did.
Hard. I can't argue. I can't dispute it.
Yeah.
You were great.
I know. I did awesome. I was flawless. Followed the notes word for word.
Some of your best work. That was a lot of fun, and so super nice of those guys to jump on and join us. And like I said at the beginning, if they didn't answer your questions this time, we will do our very best to get them answered for you, either by asking them, ourselves, or maybe they'll come back on sometime later soon. But please enter the contest. We would love to hear from you guys. Tell us why you want to go to Bonnaroo. Also, use that opportunity to just ask questions that you'd like us to get answered. Maybe doesn't have
or
to
send
just
us
be for the
recommendations.
Yeah,
send us what we're looking for. Who to listen to on this lineup? If you got a good recommendation for us, kind of what we all like. You've probably watched the show a bunch, so tell us what we should listen to. And go on YouTube. Go on YouTube and watch the live thing we just did as well.
Yep, there you go. All right, cool. That's it. It's been a long day. It's a great day. It's second best day of the year.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
See you guys.
See you guys. Bye.
See ya.